Привет, folks! It's Tuesday, May 26th, 2026. As always, my name is Tudor Vlodov, Theo, and I am back with the 77th episode of Keeping It Realistic, that show that we do in collaboration with Chaos, which is dedicated to and aired live on the Chaos campus, and most of all, which aims to provide you with insights and knowledge that you don't get elsewhere unless you're willing to pay for it, of course. Welcome to today's episode, my friends. It's time for another exciting session out of the Keeping It Realistic series dedicated to interior design and interior visualization that we're doing in the first part of 2026. As you know, the knowledge that you gather during these sessions, you can apply on our ongoing interior exercise apartment in Germany that we'll be doing until the end of the year. Let me share this with you in the chat and use the chance to take a look at who's there and what you guys are doing. Francesco, my friend, so awesome to see you. Loved your project, loved what you wrote about it, and it was such a pleasure to give you some feedback and to share some of my story with you as well. Amit, of course, you are here. Hi, Theo. Hi, Daniel. Hi, all. So good to see you, all of you today. Yeah, my friends, back to you. And by the way, I never ask where you guys actually tune in from. In our show, this never became a tradition, but we can start doing it if you want. I know the cities of some names that I see here. I see Bologna, I see Mumbai, and let's see all the others. But for now, let's continue because today we will be talking about building visual thinking. And you see, after years of mentoring artists, I notice one very clear tendency, and this is that many Arvis artists tend to make one pretty cardinal mistake, with that being that they focus too much on the here and now and kind of miss the bigger picture. You know those questions. How do I create good parquet, realistic parquet? How do I use AI, HDRI to light up my scene? How do I do this? How do I do that? All of those things. Don't get me wrong. They are, of course, very important for us to know and to master too, in order to enable the professional technical execution of our works. It's just that before the execution, there is one other step. And this step is called the development of a vision which ensures that the images that we produce or the animations that we produce are not only realistic or pleasant to look at, but also express ideas, emotions, and architectural intent. This is what makes the difference between good, impactful architectural visualization that people tend to remember and forgettable images that simply depict some architecture in a documentary way that we see tons of on an everyday basis and we immediately forget. And this is also what my guest for today is specializing in, and luckily for us, is willing to tell us more about. So, without any further ado, let's invite him over. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me straight from Portugal, Mr. Daniel Nagaets, better known as Daniel from RenderCamp. Hi, Daniel.
Hey guys, how's it going? Unfortunately, I can't
Everybody's,
see the chat, but I believe there is like all lovely guys. Hey.
yeah, there are many there from India, from Poland,
Oh, really?
from Sri Lanka, from Slovenia. I know most of these people, fantastic people, willing to see you, willing to hear what you have to say. And yeah, it's great that you're here. You're one of those people who immediately agreed to be here the moment I suggested it. You were like, yeah, let's do it. I love this attitude. So, yeah, you're here today. And in the beginning of our shows, we always take the time to get to know the people who are willing to share some of their time to come talk in front of the community. So please tell us more about yourself, your creative journey. Who are you? What do you like doing? How did you end up doing what you're doing now?
Okay, so yeah, one more time. Hey guys, I'm Daniel. I'm an architect, son of architects. I'm an architecture like all my life in architectural visualization. This summer will be 20 years. I mean, in commercial architectural visualization. I started my career with, you know, when the guy came to me and told me like, oh, after first grade in university, can you do visualization or no project? No, even no foundation for their like a second house on their plot. And I said, of course, yes, I'm an architect, I'm professional. And there was like a my first uh, floor planning of the foundation completely drawing in Photoshop. That is terrible experience, but I'm done it. I done it, and that was like cool. And then after a week, he came back and said, "Can like could you make some visualization?" And I heard something about ArchiCAD, about 3ds Max, and I said, "Of course, I'm an architect. Come on, I can do everything." And I went to some store, bought two, of course, official and of course, licensed version of 3ds Max and ArchiCAD. Yes,
How else? Of course.
yes, yeah, yeah. Understand me. So and I tried to do something. 3ds Max was like more difficult to start. I done this first visualization in ArchiCAD and then switched to 3ds Max because there was clear that it's more powerful in terms of exactly visualization modeling and stuff like that. But anyway, uh, I decided to run my small company with me, my friend, uh, he learned math actually, not related with architecture anyhow, and we started new like small business in our local town, Dnipro, in Ukraine, and yeah, that's how everything started. From like there was another way to demonstrate I'm the yes man, you know, like the same as you when you called me, like, can you join me? Yes, you're the
Yeah.
same.
This is why we ask people for who they are and about their story, because it kind of explains the person that we see here in front of us today, you know. So I love this though. And is the small company that you started Fortis Vision, or was it a different one?
No. For this reason, it's I would say it's fresh company, just 3 years, maybe a little more, a little less, depends how to count. But 3 years ago, I found a partner and we launched the completely new company, like completely new company, but based on uh, all my experience, background, audience, clients, and his background, audience, and background. So actually, that is like a not completely from scratch because uh, we already had a lot of experience, a lot of clients, a lot of huge portfolio, obviously. Of course, brand. I mean, like personal brands. But anyway, the company as a company was built 3 years ago, and another company, RenderCamp, was built 11 years ago, and before that, there was almost 3 years different educational project with a different name. So altogether, 13, 14 years. Yeah, we started in 2013 or 12. That was so long time
Yeah,
ago.
14 years ago. This is also when I started Heldor, by the way. But 14 years in education is some serious experience, I gotta say. By the way, in the comments, many seem to recall those moments when they went to the store to buy 3ds Max, V-Ray, and similar legally acquired software. So yeah, we're all in this together, right? So RenderCamp, tell us a bit more about RenderCamp, please. I mean,
RenderCamp.
people follow it. Amit here saying he's for always watching the videos and stuff. Tell us more about it.
Yes, we have been working quite long time in Ukraine in Russian language. Since war started, we switched to English language and become an international company. And we're teaching quite a lot of people. I think we are like most of people knowing something about us probably. This is the my completely my vision of what the what the what is the best way to talk about architecture. So it's it's yes, that is about education about architectural visualization, if I would say it in a most short way. But in fact, there could be completely different ways to say what is visualization for someone that is function, for someone that is modeling, for someone that is um, way to create some concept. Of course, separation between obvious interior and architectural visualization. For someone that is just a way. For me, visualization, it's the tool, it's the skill. I mean, skill in terms of only skill for me as an artist. And that's actually related with the topic I want to share, because um, we have quite a big YouTube channel with really a lot of free workshops. You can go there and watch. If you want to join any courses, welcome to RenderCamp. I think you'll find the link somewhere. Just text me in the private messages if you need. So that's not the story about.
Yeah, I shared the link already.
Oh, cool. But the most important thing, in my person, one more time, in my personal opinion, is exactly over here. Like what you share as a as an artist, designer. Um, I don't like this job position 3D visualizer, because I don't like this um, wording. You know, like 3D visualization. It's like a shift in responsibility to the tool guy position. Probably it works, but right now with all that AI features, modelers replacing quite a lot, like taking quite a lot of, like huge part of the visualization. But that's like, I think part of the main topic we can talk about that. So, your question was, what is the RenderCamp? RenderCamp is the way to show architecture in the best possible way. I mean, in with soul, with emotion, with professionalism, but in not in the technical way. Or technical way, technical thing is one of the foundational steps. Yes, you need to know the
Obviously.
buttons. Yes, you need to know the functions. That's not profession. This is just a starting point, like 0 point to do something. And not only in 3ds Max, not only in Corona Render, V-Ray, any other render engine. It's about literally everything. Knowing prompts, all of us have ChatGPT, Claude, and Clean, Sedans, all that stuff. And not everyone do the same stuff. Yeah, I mean, pictures, video animations. We're trying to change this. I'm trying to show my way, maybe passion, maybe approach, uh, to share thoughts. And for this, we have to build the vision. We have to take responsibility for how the future world will looks like. And yes, that's quite ambitious, but why not to try? You making the picture that belongs to the architectural archi- architectural part of this world. Why not to do it as great, not like better pictures. I mean, as great as it possible to be in the whole universe. That's
Of
what
course.
the camp is about, I think.
We have Random Camp students here in the comments. Danushka here is your
Woohoo!
student, and people once again who follow it. What I really liked when we were discussing preparing the show, and I asked you to send me images for the cover of today's episode, and you didn't send me images of Fortis Vision or something that you did. You sent me images of the students of Random Camp, which I think is the right way to approach things. When you have students, you should I think you should be also proud of what they have learned on this course, and also kind of, advertise your course with the works by other students rather than what you are capable of, because being capable of something doesn't mean that you can actually teach it to others. And yeah, so the images that I shared today in the group or on our cover, these are images by students, right?
I think, yes, you're right. First of all, yes, thank you. And I do believe that is the biggest part of my job. Yeah. Uh, Actually, I think there is no matter what I can do, and obviously I can do really cool looking pictures, videos, animations, everything around this. And but my job is to deliver some skills or level of pictures I don't like these words. I mean, some quality, some maybe passion of picture creation. I don't know, to turn some usual, I don't want to hurt anyone, but Behance level pictures to the screenshots from the movie, like editorial photography with like like magazine covers, really expensive magazine covers, professional photography, but not in terms of professional quality of the pictures. I mean, pictures that's worth to post on the cover of the magazine will be shared like 1 million copies, for example, like that. That is quite ambition thing. uh, I do believe that worth it. Pictures I can do, yes, I do approximately 200 pictures a year. Most of them I share in my social media, some on as a story, some as a reels, some I convert to videos. Like, it's easy to find, and that's nothing. But I have to say, I'm working in commercial visualization. So this is not art, because I know, I mean, not art in a general sentence, in a general sense, like a picture to be beauty as it is. No, it's commercial picture. So the goal is to create commercial pictures that sell architecture in a most artistic way. I maybe that's the best definition.
That was a good way to put it together, I would say. This was, and do most people that start on RenderCamp, do they start as total rookies, or do they already have knowledge and then they start to or join to polish
Both.
it?
We have two courses for beginners and for professionals.
So there is both.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
And
which ones are easier to train? The rookies or the ones that already have learned something and have to relearn it
I
in the right
do
way?
not believe in this like easy stuff. Just this advertisement in Instagram. Just buy my course for 99.99, and in a month you will get $100 million on your bank account. Ha!
You don't?
It doesn't
Damn.
work. It's architecture, and architectural visualization is a part of it. It's it's a hard work, and that's not scary. But anyway, you have to be dedicated to these. Uh, you have to love architecture. You have to be passionate about it, because if not, you will lose. You'll not be a happy person, I think, in this profession.
Oh yeah, it's easy to not be happy in this profession. There's a question by Amit. He says, talking about methodology. Amit, please use easier words for me to pronounce. Everyone has
Methodology.
their yeah, thank you. Has their own methods to follow and create images. Like Chiro has the 5-step render workflow method, Mike from Viz Academy, Aga from ArcViz Artist, and so on. How did you come up with the methodology? Come on, methodology of first lighting, then applying color to the models, then putting exact textures according to the color, and final rendering and post.
That
I'm
is
just curious how
completely
you come up with this idea.
that was completely taken from the fine art artist. That's not my invention at all. I just learned how the classic fine art artists, starting from, I don't know, mid age till now, drawing, painting their pictures. I mean, by mostly I'm talking about paint drawing, like oil drawing, something like that. Everything starting with patches, uh, mix of colors. So the picture would be warm and brown. something like that. Then I realized the one of the most crucial thing of the picture, it's reflection. Uh, Extremely underrated step. I don't know why. And when most of guys, amazing guys, starting with clay render, with gray material render, and adding color, I'm doing that in a little more different way. Like, it would sound more poetic, of course, but like Michelangelo. Yes, that's I'm just cutting off the rests of parts, the statue somewhere inside. I just cutting off the parts. So actually, I'm doing the same, but with light. Yeah, first of all, we're creating something darker usually than usual, and raising up not light but lightness of patches, I would say, but not all the time. But I think that is the point of no return. When you try to do that, you'll feel how the shadows work in the picture, because one more time, the reflection is a crucial point and shadows is a crucial point. Exactly, shadow, not to add shadows to the pictures, but um, other way around. Uh, in a light and shadow composition, shadow is more important, because in fact, in the most nice pictures I know, shadows way more active than light. Lights, this is just a like some patches, some spots, some sparkles. But
Yeah.
what's happening in the shadows, that is the story, and we have to manage the whole work with shadows. So actually, that's that the way we run do our create our pictures in RenderCamp. It's exactly how the fine artists start and create their pictures, like some overall color, in most cases that is close to the background, then some, for example, that is portrait, some patch of the body, or not just a face or nose, or I don't know, like beard or ear. No, everything. Yeah, whole me. Like the background behind me, it's something black, and I have to be fully white. Yeah. Then some parts of me would be a little more orange, yellow, or pink, um, or blue.
But did you see something, my friends? It's probably, I don't know what number of my guests that have been here, been it Nikus, Lisa, Santi, now Daniel, saying about starting from the fine art, from the classic art, analyzing it, because a lot of things that we follow and still do today have been established back then and haven't changed over the years. So learning this and knowing this is actually important. It's not how it's the old stuff, nobody's interested in it. No, this is the foundation. If you understand it, you'll be able to transport it until recent times and also into the future, being it with AI or whatever. So yeah, pay attention to this. And also, it's actually fun to look at classic and fine art. Not always, not everything, but once you start getting into it, you'll find your niche, you'll find the things that you enjoy, and then you can apply them also to your work and make it more unique, maybe establish your own style. And as you see, this is also the foundation to the RenderCamp course, to the Canaletto course, which is even named after a classic artist and stuff like this. So this was fantastic answer. It was really awesome to hear this. Um, yeah, and you wanted to tell us a bit about building visual thinking. How do you want to do it? Want to just talk about it? Want us to discuss it? Want me to ask questions?
Um, I'd love to have discussion, honestly, because there is so not so often I can have discussion, especially with a huge audience. Maybe argue something, maybe yeah, because I prepared quite a few slides here, but come on, that's not the most important. The most important, like how to do that. There is RenderCamp channel. I'm showing there how to do that in practice. But I think here's the um, place uh, to share thoughts I really care about. I think they're
Okay,
really bothering me.
so tell me, what does, because we say building visual thinking, this sounds like grande, it sounds cool and stuff, but what does it actually mean to you on an everyday basis? What does it mean?
Actively improve your visual experience. I mean, not theoretically, I mean practically. You have to upload to your head amazing looking picture. Uh, I can even share the recipe for these. You have to go to the starting point could be my Instagram saved pictures. I'm saving only these kind of picture. I mean, in my public Instagram, you can go to these two arrows, yeah, like that, and I
Yeah.
save there just amazing looking real projects. I mean, photographies only, and you can just take a print screens on all of them or the best of them, sort them out somehow on your mirror board, concept board, anyone, and permanently every single day for upload some or search for some pictures that better, like the same quality or better, like exactly compare, not like, oh, that is also nice 3D. No, please go to this mirror board and compare with the same um, function of the pictures you already have there. Is it match the overall art, okay, overall artistry of these pictures or not? Because it's easy to confuse picture you like at the moment with the pictures really great in general. And when you will see the difference without comparing, that would be probably first step, like after foundation. So that is quite practical skill, building visual thinking. I mean, the method I just told you, it's quite practical way to build visual thinking. Is it only way? No, this is just a quite straight answer to the question how to do that instead of blah blah blah.
Okay, it sounds like it relies heavily on references, which means that those references you would also have to understand first and analyze what is good about them. So how can people learn to do this? Because I think some people just take a reference and are like, okay, I'll try to copy it, but it's not what you're doing. You need to understand what is good about the reference to be able to reapply it in your own work.
In my childhood, I've heard the phrase like run to your dream, go to your dream. I don't know, move slow to your dream. If you can't move, just sit to the direction into your dream.
True.
Here's more or less the same. Until like you start in quite difficult question, like how to understand it. Hold on, before understand something, let's define it, let's start
Okay.
feel it. Yeah, because it's like kids question how to play like speed solo, heavy metal solo on the guitar, like uh, slow down. Maybe you will learn first chords like a bring, and you will not die because of the pain on your fingertips, something like that. So it's fine. And here's extremely huge mistake. Like most of even my students, because I'm running professional visualization course, that's course for um, guys who already work in visualization, like 2 years, 3, 5, even 10 years, even more, and they come in with like understanding, deep understanding. Come on, I know all this shit. Please show me the magic button. And here, where the story started. There is no magic button. Magic button over here. What do you define as a beauty? So first thing you have to do is exactly improve your ability to define the beauty in practice, because references is in fact that is the same as a fine artist technique. It's somebody's experience. You just can choose and upload over here, because you can't upload experience in any other way. I mean, you can't choose experience in any other way. Lesson how to model some armchair, not making you closer to amazing picture. Lesson about how to set up some wooden shader, not making you closer to amazing render, because composition is the another foundational thing. It's what is composition? Like, I love the idea. Composition is like a flower bouquet. You know what is flower bouquet composition? It's where the flowers looks good together in a composition of flowers. Yeah. On the picture, it's literally the same composition, and when the it's that's when the light and shadow and colors and shaders and position of objects in the frame or on the picture looks good together. Full stop. That's the definition of composition. That's the definition of importance to learn. And first, we have to define what is really beauty look like for you. And for this, you have to compare, exactly compare. That is extremely important to compare. I mean, take two pictures and honestly say, this is amazing, this is not that amazing. Throw it away. That's all. So this is your target goal to reach this thing. And I've also obvious um, uh, argument here could be about the references, like working with references. My picture is not the same, and blah blah blah, like that. I have to answer this question because that is 100% will be here. The problem with the question, because you shouldn't start your project searching for the references. You have to search for the references permanently to improve your imagination, because everything you create, you will create based on knowledge you have. If you don't upload anything over here, outcome would be empty. And quite often people answering like, but I already imagined something, so probably I need just the skills to show it in the visualization. And no, it doesn't work. No, the statement like false. It's not true, because imagination, it's a lie. For example, you can imagine the crocodile in the clouds. There is no crocodiles there. It's obvious, but it's imagination. You can, for example, you can remember any place, any restaurant, any um, city, any place. For example, you never been to Amsterdam, for example, or imagine any other, Tokyo, New York. Imagine any city, Seattle. Um, you imagining immediately something, but you never been there. You don't know the details how it looks like. So it's vague something based on. So that is not hard. No, I mean knowledge, real knowledge. It's like vague
It's a
cloud
direction.
of memories, imaginations, and pictures you saw on the picture, but that is not knowledge. That's exactly like math. You can say 2 multiply 2. Approximately in between 3 and 5, maybe 16. No, it's exactly 4. Yeah. So the size of the brick. The size of the brick has exact dimensions. I'm sorry, but that's not like 15% bigger. No, we have the size of the brick. We have height of the table. We have, I don't know, some typical things. And about the pictures, we also have typical things that looks good and not looks good permanently. We have to collect. We have to understand this. So it's possible to improve that skill, push this skill. Number 2, we have to start collect amazing looking references. Of course, in some time, those ones we choose first will be thrown away. That's normal. That's called evolution and your own evolution. And That's how you'll compare, for example, your pictures with these references. And time to time, you have to work with like practical copying these references. Using method general filling, it's easy. You don't need even to finish it. You just enough to grab the emotion from the picture and learn, oh, that's how to bring that emotion to visualization. Yeah. And then with this knowledge, you'll be able to go to your real projects and execute them on the way higher level, definitely way higher level. Even just imagine after 10 repetitions, so you will choose 10 best, in your opinion, pictures on the planet. Interior visualization, for example, architectural visualization, no matter. You'll choose 5 or 10. Just imagine. You will build like approximate architecture. Even you can download from, I don't know, some website existing architecture, because the exactly model of architecture not that important. Important is to learn how to take emotion from one picture and put it to another picture. That's exactly why we use that general filling method, because that is the quickest way to do that. People usually think the shaders is the longest process. No, it's not longest process. Longest process is to capture an emotion if you already lost it in the not matching shaders. Like all the plants, all the trees, if you already got the disjointed composition, you can't collect it back. And that's like,
Agree.
I have an example. As I prepared for this example. For example, I will take one uh, piece of paper, yeah, and I can throw it to you. Will you catch it up? Definitely. I can take, for example, two. Yeah, and you obviously have two hands, most of us. Yeah, and I will throw one, two. Can you catch it? No, probably somehow. If I'll take 10 and throw it like that, will you catch something? Maybe one. The same with shaders. The same with elements of composition. You can't uh, catch all the things like lighting, artificial lighting, shaders, color, shadows, composition. It's too much. It doesn't work in that way. That's why it have to work in the layers. I know nothing about those guys you told me before, like 5 steps something, but the logic of steps is completely yes. So you have to finish first step, layer, no matter how you divide, but you have to divide the whole process into stages and deal with them in the best possible way for you at the point.
This makes an awful lot of sense. I'm just sitting here listening. I mean, we talked about this in the beginning, with or without presentation and stuff. What matters in the end is that people hear exactly these type of thoughts, and this is exactly the type of stuff which people actually wouldn't hear. Obviously, they probably will when they book your course. But what we're doing here is, Cal's giving back to the community, with me just as a middle person, and having this genuine talk, disagreeing or agreeing doesn't really matter. What matters is that people have food for thought. I very much agree with you. I want to ask some specific questions. You're talking about pictures, but I guess you're mostly talking about photography rather than other renders.
Yeah.
Because there are fantastic renders out there, but they have gone through the prism of somebody else. Like it's not the depiction of reality, which photography is. So you're talking about photography, and there's a question by Amit, and this very nicely connects to a question that I would have asked you as a second one. Like daily exercises to help build that visual thinking. Did you maybe take a camera with you and take photos?
It's a nice hobby. It's nice hobby, but the problem, it's slow. You can take, I don't know, 100 amazing pictures a day.
No, never.
Just can't. Maybe if you're extremely talented and skilled and you are in the place where it's possible to make. I mean, main pictures. I'm not talking about some close-ups with nice bokeh of the flower. Come on, we are talking about fundamental architectural or interior, really valuable pictures. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 5. If that is not photo shooting of the restaurant where everything is prepared. Of course, there could be more. But if you are going to the architectural to shot architecture, it would be 1 main and a lot of additional shots. I would say practical way to improve your visual
thinking.
literacy. It's exactly collecting pictures. Why photography? Because the goal is to get realistic, cinematic pictures. So probably like, don't get me wrong, but I think if the goal is realistic, cinematic, so probably the best way to do it to search somewhere in the realistic cinematic pictures. The most realistic cinematic pictures, this is photographies and shots from the films. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe some magazine covers, but that's also photographies. Yes, and I think that is extremely bad idea to learn from other visualizations. That's dramatically bad, and even worse thing to learn from uh, AI generated content.
Oh yeah.
I exactly learn from. I mean, improve your visual literacy, your collection of references. I think collection. It's difficult to understand and feel before the moment you'll compare this AI generated content face to face with real, amazing, highly professional photographers. Because when you'll compare, you'll see, oh, photography is better because AI not bad. That's the problem. And 3D, somebody's 3D also not bad. But when you compare with the best architectural photographers, these visuals, for example, this AI generated content, you'll clearly see photography is better because of the fundamental skills of the creators of this content. They have it. I mean, these fundamentals. They know how to build composition. They know the colors. They know the lighting. They know the camera lens, the power of all that. And surprisingly, at the end, picture looks so simple, so easy, so realistic, so light, so cool. But in fact, there is a lot of work. The same as visualization. Yeah, the best visualizations look so easy to do. Yeah, like crisp, clear, absolutely realistic. So, and typical question: which HDRI do you use? I can tell you, but it will not help you.
That's really. Yeah, yeah. This is probably why we look up to studios like Mir, because their renders look like photography, simple yet incredibly impactful. So, would the next step then be reproducing the projects that we see on those photographs? Like you see a project of amazing photo session, and then you just take those images, and then you reproduce the scene to learn.
Yes, exactly. It's like a. I can compare it, with any kind of sport. Yeah, to go to competition, you have to make a lot of hundreds of trainings.
Yeah.
For example, if you are boxing, you have to make one shot. I don't know, many thousands times.
Yeah, one and the same, over and over again.
In visualization, is the same. It's a skill. In fact, amount of repetitions giving you possibility to do it easy from the first try and surprisingly good. The phrase of Tiger Woods, it's a golf player, but actually that's not true. That is not his phrase. This is another golf player phrase, not that much well known, but anyway, let's call it Tiger Woods. Somebody asked him, why you so lucky? Why you always hitting through the forests? I don't know, around the corner, like, so it's impossible, just impossible. Why you so lucky?
Oh,
The
lucky is
question
not
was,
the right
why you
word
so
here.
lucky? And the answer was quite simple. The more I train, the luckier I get.
Yeah.
Come on, that's true. And visualization, it's a skill. We have to practice that skill, and we have to separate it into the steps. Yeah, steps. Step number one: what does it mean, beauty? We have, um WhatsApp channel, run a family, and there are guys quite often asking how to like sending pictures and with the question suggestions, even with the like what I have to suggest, like sometimes I really want to answer this picture is shit, so my suggestion is leave this profession. um,
Delete.
but no.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, so I can, like, my suggestion is to start from the beginning. What does it mean? What do you want to get? What is your goal? And here's most of people stopping answer anything, because what is the best possible picture? What is the best possible picture for you, for this particular case, for example, or in general? Can you show it? No, okay, I will describe you, and then some sentence like that. I'm sorry, can you show it in picture? But I can't find exactly the same reference. Let's come back to the point number one. You have to collect references long before, because exactly these, long before project started, because exactly these references will impact to your imagination, to some your thoughts. Based on this, you'll make decisions, more like darker or brighter, more saturation, less saturation, move it to the right or move it to the left. Typical composition, because when you collect 1,000 references of the living rooms, you'll clearly see 4 patterns that actually works. That's all. There is not that many. I even made the experiment with this. Kitchen island. Just in fact 3 ways to show kitchen islands. Only 3. I describe it everywhere, in the videos on YouTube, in my book, in the course. If you want, I can repeat it here, but
Please.
uh,
Please do.
it's just 3 ways, and it's quite primitive: 3/4, frontal, and along the island. Yeah, it's simple. Yeah. So, and you can collect, for example, 10 pictures of each. Okay, not 10, 100 picture of each, and throw away 90 the worst pictures, and you'll see there is in if I have place to place camera only along the island, because there is conditions. Yeah, we can't, quite often we can't just place camera anywhere because of the walls, because of the, I don't know, some different things. But if you have the possibility to place camera exactly to along the island, you have 10 beautiful examples how the light and shadow composition have to work in this kind of situation. The same as 3/4, the same as frontal view. That's all.
And what's with innovation? I mean, if we, let's say, we do this, I absolutely agree with this, but maybe some people ask themselves, okay, if I gather the references and then I know there are 3 ways to depict a kitchen island, doesn't it stop the innovation of, coming up with a 4th angle or something else?
Uh, I think here's the problem. Honestly, I think here is the problem in a question, because there is no, in my personal opinion, those thing, that idea, that is innovation to find completely new camera position around the kitchen island. So you are really think that you will find completely new, nobody never tried before you. If we're talking about rectangle standing on the floor, like quite huge rectangle standing on the floor, like a box. Like, come on, that is primitive thing. Everyone in the world, there is like, I don't know, million cameras, at least 3% of them interior photographers. They do some shots. Maybe that is the statement of the unique shot is wrong. Maybe there is not enough of research, because I honestly think there was not enough research, because definitely there was shot from the angle you plan to try, and there was good and bad examples of the result of these shots, and you can compare and decide, I want to have lighting from that side or from the back side. Am I want to use some artificial light or natural light? Is it should be overcast lighting or daytime render? Because building picture from here, we always trying to. I have another example, like a band. When the band playing, for example, I don't know, like a classic rock band. Yeah, there is like 4 or 5 musicians, and drums, bass, 2 guitars, okay, piano, not classic, but okay. And just one of them, let it be this one. Just one of them can play solo at the moment. All the rest playing something like let's call it background. Yeah. So it could be some situation when the solo guitar play the same as singer singing right now, but that is like a nuances, that is about the moments. But let's agree, drums, bass, both guitar, piano and vocal don't play solo at the same time. Yeah. No. So here, the same as the picture, but when we build in picture from scratch, from hand, and especially without experience, we every single 10 minutes trying to increase emotion. Let's add sun. Let's add saturation. Let's add some bright colors. Let's make something darker. So we add in, and we add in a lot of solo players into the picture. That's not a composition. Composition, that's when everything is cohesive, when everything sounds like a melody. And unfortunately, not every single musician can create amazing song. Unfortunately, that's true.
Yeah, totally.
I'm a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome. Everybody's enjoying being here very much. I myself too. I'm just, letting you talk because I see that you do it eagerly, and I just, taking a step back and leaving you to talk. So cheers. Would you say there are 2 questions from the chat that I would ask you too, but first want to ask you to make a transition there. Would you say that most artists genuinely observe the world around them enough?
Come again, please. Don't absorb.
No, let's say most artists out there really deeply observe the world around them enough, because I think we need to be observant. You talked about the references, and the reference is obviously incredibly important, but I think it's also important to have also those, let's say, for that imagination that we were talking about, or estimation that we were talking about in the beginning, which is at least some part of the base, that we just observe how real life around us looks like. We have the photos for this, but we also need to observe. I think that we need to be observant, because sometimes you feel something. It's not only just a detail, but sometimes you feel you let's say you enter a new apartment of your friend and you feel that there is something in there which makes it special to you. You need to be observant to figure out what it is. I think. Would you say people observe it, or don't you do it this way at all? You just rely on the references. How do you do it?
I think observing and being a well-educated person in general, that is extremely important. But if the goal is to be able to create pictures, I think you have to learn how to create pictures. That's uh, is observing the world around is useful. It's useful to being smarter person. Um, is it helps directly to the pictures? No, because there is no optic. In my personal opinion, uh, uh, okay, let's say in a different way. At some stage, at some deep, like common stage. Yes, it is. For example, knowing the dimensions, sizes, proportions. But that's more about knowledge. But if you are asking about like absorbing reality around as a in terms of optics, like your eye, like a capturing the reality around you using your eyes. So my answer to this question, no, it's I don't want to say it's useless, no, but the uh, learning from pictures more useful. It's a clear product we have to get at the end. Like if you want to prepare, if you want to cook your beer, you have to learn from guys who cooking, preparing beer, not just drink. Drinking, it's alcoholism. It's not the same. It's also pleasant. It's also good. Yeah, enjoy your. But that's not the same. Like exploring world using your eyes, it's useful, it's fun, it's cool, but that's not the way to learn something about picture creation, because creating pictures, that's a little bit skill on the side.
Okay. This is, of course, the professional part. Of course, we are focusing here today very much on Arvis, as also, let's say, as a service, as a business, because there is, of course, something else, which is creating images out of imagination, creating stuff which isn't there yet, even though, of course, many things have already been done, and there we can use references even to create something that we haven't that hasn't been created yet. But these are, of course, two different things, and I think we should focus today also more on the arvis side, the commercial arvis side. And of course, for this, relying on photo references is just probably really the best way to go. Still, there is a question by Rakesh here who says, generally in the world, there are a lot of details and small, tiny elements. Um, do you think it can help us if we capture these details to enhance our renders? The way I understand it is like take photos with your smartphone of, let's say, the construction of a shelf, and then use this photo when you're constructing a shelf for your render, for example.
I
And he
think
continues, or keeping clean and less elements in the scene, no matter if it's exterior or interior, is better. I don't
um,
think there is an answer here, but you're my guest, so please answer it.
my my personal opinion, my answer is the same as the previous. Uh, to increase your overall understanding of the world, that's good, but that's not help you directly with the visualization.
Yeah. I mean, and what about the photos that we take, just of, let's say, the technical photos that we take of details and stuff? Aren't they useful?
We have
To
Google. You can type anything and you'll find any detail immediately. You don't need to have this huge collection of pictures. You will never take a shot of everything, but you have Wikipedia.
That's true. And if you have to to visualize something specific which hasn't been photographed yet, then ask your client for photos or go do your own photos
Yeah, of
for
course.
details, technical drawings, and all of those things in order to make things detailed and realistic enough. There is a question here from Mexico, from Nancy, who asks, which photographers are your favorites? Do you have any when you gather so many photos?
Yes, and quite a lot. I suggest you to go to, I'm sorry, but to RenderCamp YouTube channel. And not so long time ago, maybe a month or two, um, we released video called references with huge letters, references. And
Yeah.
there I gave, as I remember, around 20 or 10 or 20 photographers, 10 or 20 interior designer studios, 10 or 20. Um, I even don't remember. Like there was like around 50 different names of the companies and personalities I suggest you to follow. And also, you can go to my Instagram to these saved
Yeah.
I don't know how they call it, they saved the block and open posts and check studios there. It's maybe not that much magazines. They're mostly exactly personalities and studios, owners of the pictures, and you can subscribe to them. And that's the way, because of course I will not remember all 50 or even more in that video.
Yeah, I shared the channel, the YouTube channel. I had shared everything else before, and yeah, it's the fifth video there, references, and yeah, people can go watch it and yeah, learn something. Um, okay, in your opinion, what this is a question that people are often asking, and I want to hear your take on it, even though I think I know it. But what usually limits artists more, the lack of technical knowledge or the lack of visual thinking and sensitivity?
It's the answer is about cycling. What do you need more, left leg or right leg? You need both.
No, of course, you need them both. Like, yeah, if you have the visual thinking but you cannot put it to paper, then it doesn't work. If you have the technical skills but no vision, then it doesn't work either. Yeah.
But technical skills right now become, I would say, less and less, uh, not valuable, more and more affordable. And that doesn't mean like we are switching to this terrible topic about AI. Like AI will replace us. Daniel said no. We just receiving tool that giving us possibility to deliver more as a architectural visual artists. And that's where I was started. Not 3D visualizers, architectural visual artists.
Yeah.
We receiving more powerful tools. So, in fact, if 5 years ago there was just a typical marketing kit for any studio, like 15 pictures, 20 pictures, maybe more, maybe less, never mind. You understand the point, yeah? Like 15 pictures and one, like 1 minute walkthrough animation, for example, like typical kit. But so right now, that would be completely different. And with this 15 pictures and one animation, they will run whole marketing campaign for the whole sales period time of the marketing campaign of these real estate sales. Yeah, but um, now to be uh, to be at the edge, they have to share at least three new items, like pictures, videos, carousels, stories, something a week, but better to a day. So competition there is extremely high, and that should be engaging visualization. Yes, I'm talking about the same you as commercial architectural visualization. So commercial, I would say even commercial marketing architectural visualization, not just interior design visualization, because obviously interior visualization pictures would be mm, easier and easier to do. Right now, we already have AI renders. We already have so we don't need to learn all that deep 3D stuff, but modeling become more and more popular, valuable, underrated, I would say, profession, because right now modelers uh, getting more than visualizers in our company, for example.
That's true, and that's actually a big topic. But I want to read something out loud from the comments, because you said that you would find it great if you argue, if you would disagree. So here is some disagreement coming from Francesco, from straight from Bologna, the home of the Bolognese. Just so you know. He says, I respectfully disagree. The beer example is useful. If you want to make great beer, of course, you need to study beer deeply, understand the process, produce it, taste it, and refine your craft. This is the core of the work. At the same time, I don't think that looking beyond beer means losing focus. Tasting other drinks can simply give you a wider range of references, ideas, and sensitivities that may indirectly improve the way you make beer. For me, focus and openness are not opposites. You can stay fully committed to your craft while still allowing inspiration to come from other fields. In fact, this is often where the most interesting growth happens. What do you say?
I do agree completely. That was just an example, and partly for fun, of course. I mean, my answer was a little more from the different perspective. I mean, just drinking beer, it's not enough to state I am the like
Master.
professional beer producer. Yeah, so I'm not able to produce beer just drinking. It's not enough. But yeah, the way you think is completely fine, completely
Yeah.
correct.
And very eloquently put, by the way. It was a pleasure to read this one. And no difficult words, right? So let's talk a bit about storytelling, right? Because this is also a part of images, and also part of commercial images as well. The thing is, you talked about the kitchen island, and gathering those references, figuring out, okay, there are more or less three best ways to depict it. I'll pick one of them, then I'll pick the reference that helps me do it in the best way possible, and then that's it. It it's a bit more difficult when it comes to storytelling, because many ask themselves, what story should I tell in the first place? So how do people know how to tell which story to tell in their images?
That's actually amazing question, because the pattern of the answer is more or less the same. We have to define what does it mean storytelling first, because for someone, right now we're using words to describe uh, storytelling. So it's story. It's not words. It's a story. It's some emotion. What's happening? Uh, we have to define what is storytelling, because the cup of tea on the kitchen island with smoke, or like parts of or pizza on the plate or something like that, it's not a storytelling. But someone might think that is like I'm adding life into my picture. I will throw some blanket to the sofa, and that would be my storytelling. Like we have to define what does it mean storytelling, because if we're talking about video, it's about script and script writing and directing. If we're talking about still images, I'm honestly do not try to look like smart guy. I just want to like say or ask straight, what does it mean storytelling?
I think this is what makes an image more dynamic and emotionally engaging to the viewer, which
What does
doesn't
it mean
only stop
dynamic?
at the architecture, but it also shows that how this architecture is, let's say, being put to use. Let's say you have this coffee cup on the kitchen island with the steam, you have lumps of sugar next to it, and then the bar stool is pushed a bit to the side, and then you suggest that this is where people can go have their tea in the morning. It's not like some major storytelling, but it's at least more than just, okay, this is just a kitchen, this is a counter and this is the kitchen front. This is, of course, we can I think we can talk the whole episode about what actually is storytelling, and this is obviously something very different when it comes to still images and animations. But I think that those I think that when most of the time when we refer to storytelling, we refer to this small fragments of something happening or something that has happened
Some
that
human
has an
presence
emotional
there.
response on people. What? Sorry?
A human presence there.
Not necessarily. In recent times with AI, we have
But
human
if there
presence.
are some, wait a second. If there is some coffee on the coffee table or
Yeah,
somewhere on the kitchen island, it means some person prepared it,
yeah,
put it there, and take the shot. And this shot we show to the huge audience, to I don't know, 100,000 viewers in our Instagram, for example.
yeah.
And for some reason, we decided that tea or coffee should be shown or must be shown on the picture. So I have doubts it's the rule or the best solution. So uh, I I think for me personally, it's better to have clean pictures. But that is more about my way to show pictures. I love to prepare my pictures as a clean clean room prepared for visitors. Like, I can give the keys from this apartment to anyone. Anyone can come and start living from scratch there.
Okay.
I don't want to create pictures where someone already living. So, but that is about my style. Can I imagine nice looking coffee cup on the kitchen island on the picture? Yes, of course. Am I like it? No, I don't. And here's one more time. We can go to the references and check how the pictures with kitchen island and coffee table look like, and compare them with pictures without coffee cups. I'm sorry, and compare them without coffee cup, uh, and decide, and just decide what's better. So, um, what I'm teaching and exactly teaching at RenderCamp, do not asking straight questions like, am I need to um, put the coffee cup there? I don't know. You have to decide, but you have to be you have to know the your favorite word method. How to decide based on what? Based on comparing result. You have to decide what you like more. You'll decide it based on your visual experience and your uh, visual literacy, and you'll decide, yeah, I want to have some close up to the coffee table, or no, I don't want to. I want to have clean shot, but I will create another close up with coffee cup. Why not? As additional shot, for example. I don't know.
So for you, the difference seems to be the intent behind it, and the way I understand you teach it to others is that they should have a reason behind it, not just do it there because of it looks nice, but because they want to tell a specific story, they want to communicate it to a specific audience, or leave it clean.
I'm sorry, even not looks nice. You think it might looks nice. So you guess it might looks nice. So maybe not looks, maybe not nice. I will do some work. I will spend some time. I will blah 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 blah. What is the goal? I want to start with a complete target. For example, I have to get 5 vertical pictures for my client, because my client will show on the cell phone, or I don't know, want to use it in Instagram, want to share this picture in Instagram. That's why it would be vertical. So the goal is to get 5 pictures, vertical, portrait orientated, till the fill the emptiness, like end of tomorrow. So I have like 8 hours a day, for example, 16 hours for 2 days. Let's divide these 5 pictures. Yeah, so I have to dedicate some time for model for the whole interior. Then I have to dedicate some time for lighting, general feeling, and then shaders, some post production, some upscaling, something like that. So what is the goal? The goal is to think about cap or the finished task. For me, finished task on the magazine quality final level. If the goal is to finish the picture in the magazine quality final level till tomorrow's end of the day, we shouldn't think about cup. It's, for me, talking about cup, it's like instead of dealing with something really important. And you asked about art and creativity sometime before. So I think thinking about cup on the visualization, it's not creativity. It's more related to dopamine addiction. You know, like, I'm a good boy. I've done that. Like, I used to have a thought, and I done it. I marked it as done, and it looks good. Is it really important? Is it looks your final result look the same as the amazing reference you pick as your target for your portfolio, your visualization, for your everyday level quality, or not? So that I'm watching to this from this perspective. So talking about coffee cup, it's probably might be not that important, or even better to say, let's start to talk about coffee cup when the beauty of the picture already done. Okay, I would be somewhere here.
I understand. By the way, how do you search for references? Like, you have your favorite photographers, and when you see good images, you save them down. But when you need a specific reference that you don't have in your, kind of fundus of other references, how and where do you search for new ones?
That's another, in my personal opinion, wrong question. Because it's
I'm
the
good at it.
answer is it's impossible. Short answer, it's impossible. You know why? Because when you started think about the project, you already imagine something. You will never find completely the same picture because you have to create those pictures. So if those pictures would exist, your client will take this picture and use it in their purposes. So the thing is, there is not that many unique patterns. You said, and you can't find exactly the same situation. Yeah. So why are you asking that? Because you already imagine something, some camera position, some elements, and in fact, if you start collecting references, I mean, not in theory, I mean on the board every single day, at least 20 minutes a day, just taking picture instead of just scrolling, taking picture of them and send them to the mirror board, and put to the like types of pictures you like. We have this reference collection. Actually, we share it with our students with a completely different types. You'll see there could be just 2 options: good ideas and bad ideas. Because the problem is we automatically think that any ideas comes to our mind is brilliant, and they're just one technical tool to execute it. I already told that. And actually, this sentence is this idea is false. It's not true. Not every idea we have is brilliant. That's why we have to collect references long time before, because exactly that's what will clean our mind. Like, okay, not clean, fill our mind. That is our library of solutions. We will not imagining something from scratch. We will imagining something based on uploaded information.
I see. So, another question. Let's hope that this one is a good one. You said that your images tend to be cleaner, more catalog-like. Does this mean that they are not emotional, or can a clean catalog-like image still be emotional or have an emotional impact on the viewer?
Completely. I don't like not emotional pictures. Um, it's like with ladies. Um, the with lady on the date, you can play. She can play. Okay, she can play with you, and she can, in theory, come naked. Like, I'm the lady. Like, 2 legs, 2 arms, 10 fingers there, another 9 there, and hair somewhere, maybe not. Like, so it's visualization. It's not counting objects. Emotion. It's not, and also she shouldn't come in the clown's costume to get like emotion. Like, ha ha. No, it's like too emotion. So we have to find that balance. And for me, that balance can looks like a only black suit. Is that emotional? Yes, that is emotional, but that's not shouting. Can it be um can it be green haircuts like this, like a punk rock? Is that emotional? Yes, but that is different emotion. So I would say we shouldn't talk about emotionless pictures. We have to talk about what kind of emotion we want to deliver, and that's really valuable thing. I think that's that's where the style coming from. That's where the style of the pictures, yeah, not interior design style exactly, style of the picture, design of the picture. Yes. So for example, if you want to be like black suit person on the body, you can't wear, I don't know, something, for example, Nike sneakers. Like, you can do it, but that would be different style. So to um to follow some um, opinion about you, to get some opinion about you, I think you have to keep yourself in some borders. The same as, and I know the next question, guys may say, but sneakers with costume might looks good. Yes, I do agree with you, but that's a little different style. If that is okay for you, yes. And probably might be another question. Is it okay, for example, I like to feel more comfortable, so I like sports suit. Uh, that's also good, but that's different style. Like, we can't pretend to looks like a black suit guy in a sports suit. It's We have to understand we have limits somewhere.
So, what would be the, let's say, the equivalent of what you said, the black suit guy with the to an image? If we were to compare this to a situation with an actual image, what would it be?
For example, shapes. We have completely straight lines. Most straight lines in the architecture, like vertical, uh, sharp line, exactly lines. Yeah, and for some reason, in the picture appears bubble-like uh, cup, for example, on the desk. So that's like another element out of the style. Mm, is it bad? It's not bad, but it could be. It's a solution you made for some reason. Can it works? Yes, it can works. But if there was the goal to keep like black suit style, like keep everything straight, or other way around, only curves, only bubbles, or only spheres, only circles. I'm talking about composition. I'm talking about like patches, not about uh, tables and desks.
So the subtle emotionality you talk about, it comes from stuff like composition rather than, big, storytelling elements or maybe over the top lighting scenarios and stuff like this.
I think all the stuff like these have to play the have to have the same goal of the picture. So in my reality, in my bubble, like we have the goal, some target to show something on the picture, and I'm searching for the best way to do that.
Makes sense.
Because for every single problem, like in math, yeah, in for every single problem, we have one the best way to deal with this, and a few on the next positions. And for me, that would be subjective um, choice. For you, that would be your subjective choice. Uh, it would be different, not the same, and that's where actually the creativity is. You are like completely different personality, not the same as me. Um, but objective reality, that is for you at any point, at any target, in any situation, would be one objectively the best way to deal with that if you collect some ideas somewhere. So that, for example, you have this kitchen island or that bed or this, and in myriads of pictures of with the bed, you will choose one which is better than others. That would be your best way to show the bad in this particular case. For me, that might be different, completely different, even not from your list. The goal is to find it. Like first is to understand the this solution exists. Then goal number 2 to find it, and then number 3 be able to do that kind of quality you choose as a target for you, not for me, because my style, my taste, my the best picture would be different.
So everyone's best is different.
Of course,
Okay, that's interesting. That's what makes our field so interesting, right?
that's
And
where the creativity is, not in the placing cup on the table. Definitely.
yeah, this obviously isn't even the most creative storytelling, obviously, but just as an example. So one of the goals of creating those images is transmitting the architectural intent behind them. Any advice on this topic? Or what do you understand under architectural intent and transmitting it to the viewer? Because this is why we do those images, right? We want them to sell an architectural concept.
We have to talk about the pictures. I'm not sure we can talk. I'm not sure I can give the answer to this question regardless any particular situation, because it's have to be like ultimate solution that works in any conditions. Unfortunately, I can't imagine this kind of silver bullet for architectural visualization.
But what is the architectural intent for you, or how do you define it? I mean, obviously, in our field, there are no ultimate solutions and ultimate rights and wrongs, I would say. But you said that, the video building visual thinking is important for, transmitting emotion, architectural intent. And how do you define it? Or what
Um,
is architectural intent to you? It's not just the room itself, right? Not just the room, the walls and the ceiling and the windows.
uh, I would say, look, let me answer in that way. I can define three different purposes to show architecture: concept, architectural visualization, and marketing materials. Maybe this answer will fit, maybe not, but I'll try to share my vision of this. Concept, that is the part of the project or point of the project where the client, investor probably, looking for some investments, money to start, or clients to partners or something. It's not actually that important um, to have exact wall thickness profile, window profile. They will never give you like all full floor plans, and it have to be done quite quick. It's about desire, viewers desire to be there. Architectural visualization, next thing, it's the classic thing where we demonstrate, exactly showcasing the architecture, bricks, walls, tiles. That's exactly the last interesting part, because we have to exactly like list the building materials and all the things. That is the most important in that stage. Uh, and marketing materials, it's about selling. It's about uh, client of our client. It's about viewer. It's about exploring cultural differences exactly of that audience, because quite often we think, we 3D artists and architectural artists, what we like, but and living in, for example, in Kiev, I can not be sure what the New York citizen uh, prefer to see or feel or smell every morning. So I think I have to explore that one more time. So for me, this is three completely different uh, directions. I'm not sure that is exactly the question you was asking for, but I think like I have my own like perspective to think. It's not um the straight answer. Quite often my students asking me like, Daniel, how to uh make the, I don't know, wooden shader, for example. That's maybe too primitive question. And usually, for example, our support team, even our support team will answer directly. We have lesson about it over here and over here. I personally try to go deeper, asking what exactly you want to do, because wooden shader could be floor with boards. It could be some vase. It could be some shelf. It could be maybe it's like cabinets, and the problem there in a texturing, but not in a shadering. Uh, Probably that could be different shader for pine trees and um, hardwood shaders. Maybe I will suggest, maybe that person fighting with the problem, why the object made for example, wooden root. Yeah, wood, then
Yeah.
root. Yeah, and that is some statue made of roots. Yeah, and that person trying to apply uh, pine tree texture to these, and the question is why it doesn't work. So like straight answer, maybe not the best answer in most cases. We have to understand the problem, and to understand the problem in most cases we have to talk about the picture, not about common like statement. Yeah, like a white color. White color is white. For example, my hair is white, my t-shirt white, my pants white, but that is three different white colors. And unfortunately, you have to be the same. Um, and the same with the questions. We have to discuss exact situation, not just general general things.
Well, I agree. Of course, it's easier. I also prefer to talk about specific images rather than be general about it. But today we're doing a more of a, let's say, philosophical type of talk and discussion. So we go, at least I have some questions. Some people have written other questions, and I direct them to you. And there is, once again, no right or wrong. It's just your opinion. This is why we have
Yeah,
you
of
here. We
course.
want to hear what you think about those things, and you know everything we hear gives us food for thought. Some of the things that you're saying, we will agree with, or each and every one of us. I don't want to speak about us as a collective hive. Everyone has their own mind to think with, and I strongly encourage we do, so some will agree maybe with everything you say, maybe others will completely disagree. What's important is that we just don't stand still, and that we also just get some different points of view, and just some more food for thought, because I think, strongly believe, this helps us widen our horizons. So this is what the whole thing is about. There is a question here by Danushka. I hadn't read it yet, so I'll just read it out loud to you. He says, we work with designers most of the time, and they have a design that we are supposed to bring to life. And the designer may have a vision which might be more fundamental, but as a visualizer, we know we can do better or make the design more appealing. So my question is, how to guide them? I think this is this topic that we often discuss here about, educating clients and trying to show them and teach them that there is better than the midday sun at 12 at noon. And how do you deal with the situation when you are asked, because you don't only have RenderCamp, you also have your studio, and clients sometimes have a vision which simply is not the best for their project. So how do you convince them that there are better options, objectively better?
Point number one, we almost like we don't work with interior designers at all. We do interior visualization, but we don't work with interior designers at all because of this. Because they have their own vision and they need pictures for their portfolio based on their visual literacy experience, etc. Uh, Ours can be different, and also they usually have not that big projects. Yeah, for us, um, way better to take 5 pictures of the skyscraper or 20 pictures of skyscraper, and then 5 pictures of interior, because we can fight with interior design like 6 months, and everyone will be exhausted, but we can finish the, I don't know, 20 picture skyscraper project in a 2 weeks and or 3 weeks, and everything would be fine and everyone would be happy, and obviously margin would be higher. So, but I understand the point. That's common. That's a quite common, understandable thing. Um, Teach clients. Look, it's impossible to teach anyone. You I have to answer. I have two words: responsibility and agreement. An agreement, not in terms of papers. Agreement, but it's about, you won't believe me, pictures before the project started. You can talk to your client and agree what exactly would be good or bad for you from the beginning, because that's actually the question where the from the position I do not agree on the fundamental level. We starting to do something before define what is actually good for us. In this case, for me as a 3D artist and for you as a client. Let's agree. You can show, this is my portfolio. Do you like my pictures? If you like my pictures, please, that would be my responsibility if you want to take this responsibility. Yeah, because in some case responsibility might be on the client's side. Yeah, and in this case you can sell the working hours, for example. Fight, give me comments as long as you want, and I will do like move it to the right 5 millimeters, no problems. 30 minutes, something like that. So responsibility and um, agreement. Agree what is good and take responsibility what you really want and ready to take. That's
And who is doing what? If they're doing the art direction and they're defining everything, then your responsibility is just putting it on paper, which is not just, it's still work, but if you're not happy with the final outcome, because this is the next question by Rakesh. He says, yes, I have the almost a similar question like Danushka, but in a different way. In the end, with the final picture, there can sometimes be a gap between what the client expects and what the artist thinks, which shouldn't be the case. If the agreement is clear. And sometimes we may not even like the final result ourselves. How do you handle this situation?
you shouldn't get into this situation. I have a suggestion for you. Like, I really have powerful ultimate tool to be always happy with your pictures. Join next RenderCamp.
Oh, you see. So there is an ultimate solution after all. Okay, one question, which is kind of paraphrased from what Amit asked earlier about, people, how important it is to be, let's say, an architect or an interior designer or something, for success, because, there are people out there who have never studied something and still became the best at it. I would have asked you, um, how important is hard work for success compared to talent?
Oh, wow. I don't know. First of all, I don't know because I never was a lucky guy. So that's why I don't know the. I have no answer from that side where the where something coming to you just because you're lucky or you look good or something like that. I'm a hard worker personally, and I don't want to say it's the best way. I don't wish you. I don't suggest you to live hard workers' life because you need to hard work, obviously. Um, no, I have no any other answer. All my while all my friends in my 20, 22, 25 was on the parties drinking some cocktails, I was rendering. They had a girls, I was rendering. And they tried drugs and I was rendering. God bless me.
Yeah, this was a good one.
That was only good one there. Yeah, that's the place where it saves me. But anyway, yeah, that's true. And I've got way more experience because the usual working hours was like a 8 working hours and break for lunch. I had no break for lunch. I had no eight. I still work approximately like 14 hours a day. Uh, and last 4 years, I don't work at weekends. But before, I used to work on weekends also. Uh, that's only I can say.
So I appreciate you being here today with us, even more than. Hopefully it doesn't make for 16 hours afterwards because you have to come up for the two
No, no,
that
no. My,
you're.
my 16 hours will just starting now.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. And one question before we move over to a different topic that we have to talk about, which is AI, as you can imagine.
Oh,
But um, do you think that taste can be developed consciously?
oh, taste, taste. What does it mean, taste? We have to define. Um, uh, I actually, it's another way to ask me about the references because my answer would be um, some somewhat there, nearby the definition of the taste because we talking using words one more time. What does it mean, taste? My taste. Uh, like 5 years ago was not that bad, but today my taste is better. How to develop execution? I work a lot, and I my personal way is to learn from somebody's experience. I don't try to trap into my own traps. Sorry. Uh, I mean, using and trying something comes to my mind, and then disappointing because of that was not that good idea. I'm trying to find. Actually, that's my way for like most of things. I'm if I want to start something, and that's not my hobby. When I want to just play with this, and I want to really deal with that, and I want to understand it, I will go to the professional, and I will buy their working hours. The same actually with references. I will go to find the best example what I want to do, and I will try to separate it into the some parts. And maybe I will ask somebody who understands something in this niche why this picture looks nice, and is this picture or picture? Yeah, it can be any other topic. For example, it could be for some. A few years ago, there was uh, acting lessons. I was trying to learn how to uh, like public speaking and stuff like that. And the first my uh, step was to find the person who teach that and ask what like I like this style of public speaking. Is it really good or I'm I'm wrong in the first step
Assumption.
guess? So with the taste, it's more or less the same. Like I don't know what you have because, for example, you can send me your pictures and you can say, for me this is amazing, and I will show you. For me, this is amazing. Let's fight, and you will agree or not. But for me, uh, the most amazing pictures I can find, those pictures I save in my Instagram, and to- all the conversations about taste for with me can be based on those pictures. If you like them, let's continue. If you don't, probably your taste different. Yeah.
Tell me more about the acting lessons and if they helped you in the end.
Uh,
Seems like it.
acting lessons. There was not the. There was about pronunciation um, words. Actually, yes, they helped me a lot. But that was
I
quite
can cook.
foundational skill like Finnish words, not word blah, like you have to spell all the words in your sentences. There was long time ago, there was just a stage step. Of course, I'm not a professional actor. I'm just a guy with some a few
Whatever
lines.
it is, it helped you, right? I went to a rhetoric seminar, which helped me a lot. And I'm always recommending it to everyone who's watching to do this, because public speaking, at some point, you will need it. And it is such a pity when you see people who actually know something, have something to share, are interesting to listen to, but they cannot put it out there because it's hidden behind their anxiety or whatever. So yeah, I can totally recommend it. And it's very nice to hear that you did it in your past. Here, there is a small, how should I put it? Let's say summary conclusion by Danny about the topic that we talked about with the clients. He says, so it can be said that visual intent plus visual responsibility, the approach may result in or give idea to choosing specific category or class of clients. What would you say about this? It was a bit of a
I'm sorry, I'm
complex
not sure
one.
I understand what was the question.
Can it be said that if you have visual intent and visual responsibility,
What does it
um,
mean, visual responsibility?
I don't think that the visual belongs there. I think it's just the responsibility, what you talked about, with when it comes to clients and developing a project together with clients. Do you think that this can, in return, this can help you choose the type of clients that are the right ones for you?
Oh, if you have line of clients behind your door, of course, yes. But if there nobody there, probably you have to take what you can get and try to deal with that somehow. Um, like like my starting point is we need to have a work to have
Yeah,
a money.
without it.
Yeah. So if not, yeah, you're a lucky guy. Don't go to architectural visualization.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's move over to the AI topics. And the first one I would ask you is not if you like AI or not, or if you use it or not, but do you think that AI has changed the importance of visual thinking?
No, AI is just a tool. Uh, it's increasing speed. It's increasing. It's reducing technical skills. Fortunately, not unfortunately, exactly fortunately, because technical skills themselves can be the the profession. It's shouldn't be like that. The brain have to generate ideas, not the buttons, tools, anything like
So
that.
you think you say it's lowering the threshold to be able to create what you want to create without being stopped by not knowing a certain software or not being fully proficient in it.
AI, this is multiplicator of your abilities to deliver some cool stuff. If you have something to say, I mean, if you have some ideas, if you have taste, I don't know how exactly you develop it and what you mean under this word taste, but if you have something in your heart, in your mind, in your passion of to show architecture, if you have something somewhere inside of you in your head, you can share it. And now with AI you can share more. For example, I don't know, 15 years ago there was like really cool if you can create one interior a week, like a room or like living room. Then like 10 years ago there was quite good if you can create one room in a 2-3 days. A few years ago there was quite good if you can create one or maybe even a little more interiors, like a simple interiors like bedroom, a day. Right now you can create uh, and here is the not clear, because there is not like final work. Nobody already invented final workflow what we can do with AI, because of course we can say we see the problem um, with the level of detalization. I mean, I need exact with accuracy. Yeah, but can we create one measure shot? Actually, that's what we do on the AI course we launched yesterday. Um, we take in one main measure frame of the project, no matter architecture and interior, and based on this, we create some additional shots. And you and like you know there could be a lame excuse that but AI create not the same. Yes, create not the same, but can you add to the prompt words like shallow depths of field and put everything behind and everything in front in the blur, and make just a shot of the chair you need and clearly see on the shot. So it's about your smartness, about your flexibility, how you can behave with this tool. Because actually with Corona Render, you also can't create everything. Yeah. So you know your limits in Corona Render. And here in AI, I think we also have some limits. And we have to understand they are different. For example, in Corona Render, not every single in 3ds Max, not every single picture would be amazing. But every single picture in most cases would be accurate. But in AI, it's other way around. Not every single picture would be accurate, but every single picture can be amazing. So the question is how you will work with this fact, with this understanding. Can you do something? So that is different tool, not the same. You can't use it instead of Corona Render. Just can't. It's a different tool. Can it multiply your skills? Yes. Can you tell the something I can say storytelling? I mean films, videos. Can you tell a story, some video, story captured in the video using AI? Yes. Can you generate amazing, brilliant voiceover? Yes. Can you generate music? Only yours? Yes. Can you create additional shots? Yes. Can you create, if you need accuracy, you have to create a few additional shots of your interior or architecture, no matter, in 3D. But then based on this, for example, not one, 3 renders, you'll be able to create more additional shots, close-ups, maybe more common shots. Maybe you can go backwards and make some bird, like helicopter view, like drone shot, something like that. And you may say, but AI will create some artifacts. Yes, but you can go to the Google, take a shot of this place, upscale it with some creativity with a Magnific, and place your architecture in the place. And so it's the tool. Magnific, that is also AI, I would like to remind you. And most of other things like Stable Diffusion, like right now we have a lot of different tools. Like 2 years ago, okay, 3. We used to have just 3ds Max, Corona Render, or V-Ray, and Photoshop. Right now, we have a lot of things for different needs. Is it multiply our
Productivity?
quality? No, it's not about quality. Uh, items in our portfolio. Yes. Like you can show your architecture in a many different ways. You can even write a song about your architecture in, I don't know, in 5 minutes with Suna. Now we have prompt to generate script um, to generate text for script. I mean voiceover text for voiceover. We can send it to Suna, and we have script how to create music, that will fit the video we will create. And the same with exactly voiceover, with emotional speaking behind the camera. We also have this prompt, and that's ideas. Can we make an interview of the person who built that house in our like laptop at home alone without crew? Yes, we can. So those who think AI will replace us as a guys who generate square pictures made of pixels, that's true, but that is evolution. That's why I don't like this naming 3D visualizer, because 3D visualizer, that is someone without responsibility for the final result and without any other skills beyond the flat pictures. I'm an architect and I love architecture, but I don't love to go to the building, to the construction. I don't want to talk to all this stuff. I just don't like. I like just the pictures. This is my passion. That is my work. That is my love. That's what I really love to do. Just pictures of the architect, like just pictures of the architecture. That is my passion. And I really want to create them in a best possible way. And I'm not limited by Corona Render. Um, all the RenderCamp courses, in all the RenderCamp courses, we have several render engines: V-Ray, Corona, and F-Storm. Why? Because tool is not important. And we started to do that, I think, 8 years ago. So long before AI even appears somewhere in our foreground. Why? Because your thoughts, your ability to create picture, way more important than knowing where the button for the reflections or where to increase IOR. You will learn where to increase IOR. You have to know how to create beautiful looking composition, and part of it is reflection, and IOR is somewhere there. So that's what you have to know. Where exactly, it's not that important. Corona Render tomorrow will move it to the new position, so you will not die, of course. You'll find that position. The same as a new render engine. The same as all the features about AI, I think.
So for you, AI is this tool that helps you get way more options to depict architecture. It's not just an image anymore. Now you can do different images. Now you can make more out of one image. Now you can create animations. You can create interviews. You can create music, and you weren't able to before. So for you, this is the tool that allows you to do this. And which tools actually do you specifically use right now? Because there is a plethora out there. We cannot use them all. We're not supposed to, because it's overwhelming. But we need, I think, our specific tools for specific things that we do with them. So what are yours?
Um, I disagree. I'm sorry.
What?
No, we have to explore, like right now, we have to explore everything. We can't focus on the tools. For the moment, my favorite tool for
Expensive though. I
huh?
mean, it's expensive and it takes a ton of time. I mean, every day
Yeah,
there are like new tools.
yes, that's true. And we have to do it to be in
Okay.
charge.
Do you manage to do it?
Yes, and right now, for example, most of our art directors team paying up to 500-600 euros per month for different subscriptions. Everyone,
Yeah. This
just
is
to
how
be
it should be
able
if
to
you want to do it.
explore everything. Yes, I understand. That's about art directors. Of course, their salary quite like they can afford it. But anyway, without it, we will be out of charge. Really, that's what happening. And the things you said, it's not the limit. Not only pictures, not only animations, and not only additional shots. What about websites? What about and in general, all the first stages, we call it marketing materials. So marketing materials, it's not about pictures. It's the set of different materials, I mean marketing materials, prepared for some marketing needs, for advertisement, together with call to actions, together with some text, together with some voiceovers, prepared for posting to social media. For example, we know how to create some scroll or fly through animation based on mouse scroll, uh, using Claude, for example, and render it and animate it and merge it with site. And also, we know how to create um, sales platforms, digital twins. Digital twins, that is where we have fly through. It could be animation, it could be um, captured shots like video, but captured video, with choosing the amount of rooms in apartments I want to pick in that building. For example, I need just 3 bedrooms apartments, like not more than 150 meters. So I have to put that options, and we can deliver that services to the clients. Yeah, we can deliver full marketing campaign to the client. I'm an architect. I'm not IT guy at all, but we already have it. Actually, before um, that boom of vibe coding, uh, we used to have. We actually used to have in the programmer who and designer designed the website, programmer built the program part. But right now, for example, that last 2 landing pages, that is little dumb example, but last 2 landing pages of the RenderCamp, I made my own vibe code, like 3 hours. And that's not actually, and you must, oh, all pro IT guys will die tomorrow. No, there was, even before, there was WordPress, that is the same tool, but that was not interesting for me. There was some Tilda, there was, you tell me, there was a lot of different services helping me to Figma, as I remember, to create websites from the blocks, from ready blocks. Right now, that is Claude, and even way more expensive. So it's the tool, and you, as a person with ideas, can explore them, learn them, explore, then learn, and then come up with some idea how exactly you will use it. Or you can join RenderCamp Professional Visualization if you want to learn how to do it in 3D in my way. And I will share with you my workflows. Or yesterday we launched AI course. It's about AI filmmaking and how to turn literally nothing, like just print screen, into film, just 2 hours, and everything done. And you can check the result of the students and result on my page. So, but that is not the ultimate weapon. Also, this is my way. You can learn it, you can check it, you can take something, some parts. You can you can take full workflow and offer tomorrow to your clients. For example, can you, uh, uh, using my method today, create animation of your last biggest project, send it to your client tomorrow, and say something like, oh, now I can create something like this. Do you want to order 15 another animations with the lowest price? Because I want to create a new portfolio with these skills, and I will make you the best price, 50% discount. Have no idea. Yeah, usual price is like, I don't know, 500 euros per animation, or 1,000 euro it's depend on your market. But can you offer it to your client, like make this video based on workflow I'm offering you to use, create that video based on pictures you already have, send to your client tomorrow, and advise new marketing campaign, because your client still use your old pictures, your pictures you delivered last time. Can you offer new services? Yes. Will you get extra money? Yes. Even if that client will say you no, you can take this project and go to another client and like and post in your work. So you'll be in charge in that case. That is so. It's not about AI will replace us. No, it's a new way to deliver something you already have in your heart about architecture, in your mind, in like behind your eyes, somewhere there, behind your blue eyes, you know.
It doesn't sound like a choice, though. It sounds like, I mean, with this example that you just gave, if you did it tomorrow, obviously no artist who, let's say, uses the classic workflow to do animation will be able to hold up with these very low prices that you're offering for the animations that you are offering to your client. So the artists either need to move to AI animation in order to be able to compete with lower prices, or they just need to, leave it be, because nobody will be paying for a Corona animation or something. Would you say this is how it's
Um,
going to be?
that's another cliche. What does it mean? Nobody will pay for Corona animation. They will, but there was the huge, uh, massive um, area of low quality, cheap architectural visualization and architectural visualization artists. So all of them right now have no sense, because anyway,
Yeah,
um,
sure.
they created low quality shit. So they have two options: die or become better.
And what would you recommend to, let's say, a freelancer, a single artist out there? How much should they go? Should they be, in your opinion, delivering the full marketing program, including websites and booklets and all the stuff that were previously done by different departments? Should they now? Would you say they should now do on their own, just like the full program?
I think it's, first of all, that's interesting. You have to try. It's easy. It's You can do it even on the free version of Claude and free version of ChatGPT. Not that much, not that quick, but even though. But you can get the cheapest version of Claude, for example, and you'll be able to create really a lot. um that's, can I suggest or say like without it you'll die? Definitely no. And there was quite interesting question, freelancers. I have a question: why you or those guys become freelancers? um is that um first of all, I can suggest to go to the studio. It's a general thing. If you are not sure in your future, you don't know how to work, maybe you don't have all the portfolio, maybe you have, like, if you have any doubts in the profession, is, in my personal opinion, it's better to go to the studio and get this experience. If you're freelancer because you want to spend some time like independent, it's, let's replace the word freelancer to some word responsible for himself person. Because, and responsibility means you take all responsibility for all parts of your life: health, family, wealth, obviously, income. And honestly, in my personal opinion, one more time, that is my personal opinion. uh, I really think there was a 10 years for sure, even maybe more, maybe 15 years of freelancers boom. And all the guys from some cheap courses or even not cheap courses uh, was talking like, oh, you can join my course and you'll be able to work from laying on the beach just 2 hours a day, just $9.99, and I'll teach you how to do that. That's and this idea is actually really dangerous, because no, you have to get a lot of experience, you have to be able to deliver, you have to take responsibility for the project, you have to have core of the profession. And architectural visualization, that's not a professional, fortunately. This is skill. Profession is something around architecture, that's direction in architecture. No, but that's skill. Why that is important to understand? Because this skill will um, will be changing. For example, with AI, and those guys who think I can learn 3ds Max only once and Corona Render 14, and forget about learning anything for the rest of my life. That's not true. Everything will become quicker, faster, and more aggressive. So another answer, in my my opinion, we have to explore a lot. And architecture, actually, it's one of the easiest domains to explore something new and fun. It's fun. It's cool. It's, that's not a rocket science. That's architectural visualization. Nobody will die. This is just the pictures.
That's true. Two questions from the audience, from Simon. The first question is, at which point or percentage do you feel that after AI, the work is our personal work? Does it take away the artistic together with the technical part?
Oh, I'm not sure I understand. Can you come again, please?
At which point or percentage do you feel that after AI, the work is still our personal work? Like, does AI take away the artistic when it takes away those technical parts that we don't do anymore?
Yeah, I understand. It's not about percentage. You have to start work with AI, and you'll see endless possibilities. So it's not like, look, guys. Um, most, I don't know, for some reason people think like, right now we doing 100%, and right now AI take 30 or 70. Never mind. No, we doing the same 100, but in the highest speed and with a bigger quantity. So, and more different services. So it's not instead of some actions, it's a multiplicator. It's so you was able to create 5 pictures, I don't know, a week. Right now you can create 5 projects a week in a proper workflow, in some ideas. So it's not about taking our something, and definitely not about taking our artistry. I don't think our artistry in a pushing buttons in 3ds Max. I think our artistry is in a making some kind of choices in this process. Is it should be dark or light, lighter or darker, this style or that style, where to place camera. Because look, we can open Behance architectural visualizations. Oh, I mean visualizations of architecture and pictures we have in my Instagram one more time in the save. And you can compare composition. Yeah, why all the 3D artists in the past 10 years feeling 80% of picture with the building? Why not 20? Why not nice sky? Why not all that stuff about fine art? Why exactly like a one flat wall without shadows? that is their artistry. So, and in that question, what I hear the AI will take like 80% of the 90% wall in the picture. I blast that AI that will replace that 80% wall. That because there was no uh, the problem is we like thinking we have mere level and we have AI. But in fact, we have mere somewhere there and huge world of visualization over there. And the last massive layer, it's that dramatic, terrible shit you can't even imagine. And this layer is still architectural visualization, unfortunately. I would kill all these guys, and I really happy for architecture that they will be replaced. Instead of this shit, we'll receive something really valuable, at least a little bit. And for those of us who are talented, who like architecture, will receive tools to deliver something to say more about architecture, more about amazing architecture, and or turn not that much amazing architecture to something a little better. We can compare quicker. For example, 2 years ago, you could work with your project like 3 days and get only, I don't know, 3 pictures, for example, like some living room or 5 pictures. Yeah. Right now, you can work 2 hours and get 5 pictures. And if these 5 pictures not that nice, you can spend another 2 hours. So in fact, that's the way to get better, get more, compare these good looking pictures and these good looking pictures. For me, this is opportunity. It's not competitor. It's, like it's your teammate. If you
I think it depends on what you're interested in the first place. So it seems like in your case you're interested in the result. Good imagery depicting architecture, being it animations, being it whatever it is, you just want to create this. And it seems like maybe for you the way to get there isn't that important. It's just you want to get there. And so AI gives you the possibility to create more of that, so you're happy. I think that some of the people, excluding those who never went beyond depicting a 3D scene and without any intent, without any composition and stuff, who will be replaced by AI because they have nothing of value to offer. Let's be honest here. But beyond those people, I think there is this layer of people who just enjoy the process, who simply don't want to do 5 projects per week, even if they end up having the same money in the end, because they enjoy, spending a day modeling and then spending another day texturing and lighting up and all of those things. And if this is now what happens within an hour, and then you can do multiple projects per day, you won't have the time to put your heart really into it, because it's very difficult to love so many people one at a time. I usually tend to focus on a project and I enjoy this rather than, being just, okay, I'll create 3 projects until the evening. And this is like, because there are different people out there and different mindsets. Let me read you a quote by Kirill here. It's something very interesting, which contradicts what you said and at the same time confirms it. It's a very interesting one. He says, it's like sitting at home till dawn to figure out why does one's image and materials look better than mine. Mindset we need to have again. Damn, we're too old for that. And to be honest, I don't think most of us have the nerves and time to reprogram ourselves again. I love AI, don't get me wrong, and Daniel talks are gold, but one can wonder if in a few years, if we ever do 80% what we do today. Um, and to Daniel's point, yes, we did the one image animation thing to a client and it works like charm. And then there is a question by Simon who says, why would someone pay in the end if the client could just prompt in Link and produce a similar animation itself? I think I know the answer, but please.
Clients. who's our clients, who they are, and why they gonna do that. The problem, we talking, that's another another chance me to remind we use words to describe some imaginable something like uh, for example, we all of us understand who is the client. Yeah, what exactly is the client? That is different people. Yeah, obviously from the different countries, different clients, different um, cultures, with different needs, with different budgets. So that is, all of them are completely different. For example, that could be uh, um, person who just don't like work with pictures. Like, actually, there was the same doubts, completely the same doubts, when the Corona was released in 2000. Uh, mm, Professional
15,
version was released in
15.
2012. That, yeah.
I mean, last year we celebrated 10 years of Corona, so I assume.
Okay. So probably that is some commercial license version, because the
Yeah,
first version was 2009, as I remember. But anyway, uh, when the Corona was released, all the world of visualizers who used to work in V-Ray only, okay, some geeks was using some mental ray. But of course, there was Octane, but nobody used it. There was some other renders I even don't from Iguana, I guess. Never mind. But most of, like, 99% of normal people was using exactly V-Ray. And the trick, the common uh, core of the profession was exactly to know settings, how to set up engine to render at least anything. And that was skill. Yeah. Then Corona was released, and all the visualizers got the same uh, words pattern. We don't need, nobody need us anymore. Architects will do visualizations themselves because it's easy with Corona, way easier than with V-Ray. And what happened? The whole the whole industry during next 5 years multiplied 10 times the value of industry. Architects will not go to do visualization. They have their own headache with AI. They have their own uh, headache with guys who do constructions. They have to go to the construction, actually, to the where the building happening. Yeah, they have to argue with guys who deliver in windows, bricks, cement, and all the stuff. They have their job. Some small studios, yes, will do their visualization themselves, but you will not believe me, but they did it even 5 years ago. So there is not a problem. That is multiplication of the industry. And I definitely know industry in general, industry will become bigger, and obviously bigger in money. But the job positions would be different, not the same as now. And all the things we do now will be cheaper, faster. That's what you asked. If what if I like to do it in like one day? I'm sorry, but those guys will stay without job. Definitely. It's like um armor industry doesn't need guys who can make swords. But armor industry in general exists and become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But nobody makes swords anymore. That's exactly what's happening right now in architectural visualization with AI. It's not instead. it's like a next layer. It's you can stay on the second grade or at the first grade all your life just because you like the books. After first grade, you have to go to the second, then to the third. And I'm sorry that
So AI is a must to
uh,
learn and to implement
AI.
in your
It's look. I'm not the AI influencer. I don't care actually. AI or will tomorrow will release something else. I don't care about tool. The same as Corona V-Ray, 3ds Max, Blender, Unreal Engine. I don't care. I'm fighting for the architecture. Architecture must be shown and must be delivering to the people. Architecture have to be better, and we'll get better and better and better architecture. We'll get better and better and better marketing materials. That's true. How exactly it will shown? Nobody care. I mean, architecture doesn't care. Is it AI? Not AI? Technical evolution. Evolution happening right now. That's fact.
any AI stuff that you dislike, apart from all the opportunities and all the stuff that we discussed? Any stuff that you is getting on your nerves, or you think
They are
is going in the
challenging
wrong
all the
direction?
time. Actually, last course we started with not a banana, finished with ChatGPT because ChatGPT released new engine for the pictures in the process. I believe right now, not a banana, because that's Google. They will release something new and it will be better. Actually, they released this video generator and include it into Gemini and Flow, and I don't like it, for example. But I don't like it today. Maybe tomorrow they will improve it somehow, and I will like it. That's why we have to explore it every single day.
Thank you so much. Now let's change the plate and come to the final section of the Q&A, which is a bit more personal one. If it's okay with you, I will read a section or of your bio, which says that outside of work, Daniel enjoys traveling, exploring architecture and design culture, spending time with family, and supporting creative growth in younger generation, especially through shared projects and experiences with his son. Well, the thing is, many artists think that to be a good professional, you need to spend 24/7 in front of the PC. But doing 3D and learning. But this doesn't seem to be your philosophy. I mean, it used to be, as you told us, but reading this, it seems like you also like to have a certain balance in your life too.
Um, yes, but I will use a little different words because all of us know this phrase like life work balance. So I don't like this phrase and I don't like the idea behind it because that means I have work and I have life. So work, it's not my, I'm sorry. Work, it's my life. That's also my hours. I'm growing here. I dedicate my soul. That is my life. So there is no balance between work and life. That's all my life. And of course, I have to fill myself with emotions to be able to give something. I have to pour myself with something with emotion, as I said. With kids, I have not only son. I have two kids. My daughter, she is 4. My son is 8. I love to be with them. Last 5 days we spent without Ines, without my wife, and she had her um, first vacation since the first kid born. I mean, fully
Hello.
alone, and we spend all that time together. We've been in the some kind of water park. We was traveling, skating, preparing something, drawing, watching film. That was amazing time, and that time filling me a lot. And also there was work days where they been in a school at the school, and at that time I was finishing the AI course.
And what's the impact of those emotions? You said you got to view yourself with emotions. How does it reflect on the work part of your life?
Oh, that's a nice question. Look, I never had nothing like burnout. I never had nothing like feeling I'm tired, or I don't want to do that, or I don't want to work, or I don't want to think. I love me. I love Daniel. Daniel is the best person in my life, and I care about him. I mean, if I tired, for example, we had a rule in the office in Kiev. If you are tired and you have no passion to do work, there was office in city center, and you can go to, I don't know, some cinema, to walk to the park. Just don't waste your time here. You will not create anything nice. Just uh, y- y- that's not mean you can go away to find inspiration. No, recharge your batteries. If you want, you can go sleep. If you want, you can spend time with your kids. It's not about being present in the office, I don't know, 8 hours and lunch. No, it's about uh, being, it's okay, I can say being effective, but not actually only effective. It's about doing cool stuff.
With passion.
Yes, with passion, with emotion. And if you can't do it um, that long as I want you to do that, please leave me alone. I don't want to be with you. Maybe that is, um, I can be also dirty in this.
Thank you. And yeah, because I think we could talk for more hours, but it's time to wrap this up. Before this, however, I want to ask you to give a message to the Chaos Campus, a community in which people don't just share their work and call it a day, but actually every work that is shared gets feedback. There is support between all the members. People actually matter here, and it's an actual community. So just give your message to them, whatever it may be.
All previous 2 3 hours, not enough. Okay, my
No,
message. My message. I think. I think one of the most important things for me personally, it's to love architecture uh, inside of you more than you in architecture. That's my mindset. That's what I believe in. So I wish you to have the same calm and passion, I think.
can this passion be developed in a way if it's not there, let's say, naturally?
Have no idea. I think everyone can be motivated, but that person have to have to want to be motivated, you know?
Absolutely agree with this one. Thank you so much. It was, I see here, Kirill has said, eye-opening talk. I would agree with this. It's definitely gave everyone who watched it, and many will watch it afterwards because most people watch the recordings of this show. This will give everyone food for thought. Once again, it won't be everyone being agreeing or disagreeing with this, but this doesn't matter in the end. It's just giving those insights, inputs. This is the unique what we think that we're doing here with keeping it realistic, and you wonderfully added to this. So thank you very very much. I love this, and to you, my friends, watching this. As always, it was a pleasure to have you be active in the comments, ask questions, comment, and do all those things. I'll gladly invite Daniel to join the group and maybe check the comments and see what you guys think and how you react. Next episode is going to be on Tuesday, June 9th, 4 p.m. Central European summertime, like always. And this time we will be joined by German photographer Philipp Kistner. who will be sharing some insights on the process of taking interior photos after doing it for 1.5 decades professionally. So don't miss this one and come prepared with questions. And until then, stay safe, be healthy, rock on. Right, Daniel? I need to see the metal hand. Thank you very much. And keep it real, my friends. Much love and goodbye.